Election 2024 is over. America has voted, and both sexism and racism have won the day. On Liberal Dan Radio, we will hold everyone accountable, from the media that failed to report the threat that Trump poses to this nation, to the people who supported him. We will pick up the mantle to educate the people about his actions, from being dictator on day one, pardoning January 6th domestic terrorists, implementing Project 2025, and any other draconian measures he tries to pass. And now, the resistance begins. Welcome to a special episode of Liberal Dan Radio, Talk from the Left, That's Right, where we will be doing a live reaction to the Pettysburg address, i.e. Trump's address to the joint session of Congress that he wants to do. We're not expecting anything, great or wonderful to be coming from this, obviously, but what we cannot do and what we will not do here on Liberal Dan Radio, Talk from the Left, That's Right, is we will not do like what Robert Reich wants us to do, and that is to, boycott this. I understand it's very tempting to not want to listen to the bloviating moron speak ad nauseum about the things he's probably said many times before. I understand. I understand that there are going to be people who don't want to watch simply because they can't stand to hear his voice. I just happen to think it is very important that we, cover everything that he does, because we can't let him to get away with anything that he wants to get away with. And that means looking at everything he does, including his little vanity speeches like this is right now, or at least it will be in a few minutes. So we won't be boycotting it. We'll be covering it. We'll be mocking and ridiculing all of the terrible ideas that come forth from his stupid mouth, and we'll see some of your responses as well in the chat, and we will comment on that. And we're not going to probably won't open the phone lines tonight. And after this goes live. After this live is over with, after he's done bloviating and trying to justify why all of his actions are somehow good and, for this country when we all know that they're not, we will jump on over at that point to the nerdydandotcom stream over on Twitch, probably just Twitch only, and we will go ahead and do the normal, regularly scheduled gaming that we would typically do, unless this goes well beyond what we think that this might be. Of course, Donald Trump has given the longest speeches, because nobody likes to hear himself speak more than our dumb president of these United States. One of the things that I will find interesting is that typically, previously, with other presidents at least, you would have members of Congress trying to get there early, trying to jockey for seats, trying to make sure that they could get right on the aisle, so that people could see all, them getting to interact with the president, and they could get their chance to shake the hands of the president, make themselves seem to be more important than they probably are. In this particular case, however, I'm going to be interested to see how many of the people are actually going to be sitting on the middle aisle who are Democrats, and how many of those people are going to sit here and try and kiss Donald Trump's ass by trying to shake his hand as he comes down the stairs. And those people should absolutely be mocked and ridiculed, because while I understand you might want to have a good seat, you don't necessarily want to be sit here being nice to Donald Trump, because that is not what we want to do here. So shouts out to Jolie, one half of the mod squad, who's here. We got CR, Tim, Nick was here a little bit ago. I think he was going to basically go let some other people in some other chats know that I'm going to go live. Of course, I announced it on Blue Sky and on Facebook and on also on YouTube as well. I made sure to make did I make a post about it? No, I didn't make a post about it on YouTube, but I went live on YouTube, so you should get the notification that I am in fact live. So I think I forgot to actually post it to YouTube, but I did post it to the other socials. So there's that. Wait, hold on.
It is what it is.
Thank you, Donald. Anyway, so we'll have the soundboard in full effect. We'll have conversations. We'll flip it on over. One of the things that was interesting is that, apparently Kimberly Guilfoyle is completely out of the picture, because you had a shot of a balcony and all of Donald Trump's, or most of at least Donald Trump's children standing up there. Ivanka clearly standing front and center, front row. She's the prominent one because she's the favorite, i.e. she's the one that Donald Trump basically wants to have sex with. Listen to his comments in the past. He pretty much is thirsty for his own daughter, and that's gross. But what's shocking is that Tiffany Trump was on the second row, and then Don Jr. was on the third row, and not with Kimberly Guilfoyle, but with the other person I guess he was cheating on Kimberly with, because, family values. And Eric Trump was kind of like shunted off over to the side, which just to me seemed kind of humorous. So, but we did want to get in early just to make sure that we don't miss any of the ridiculousness that is, Donald Trump and his speeches. Oh boy, arrival of Supreme Court justices for Trump speech, or as Mickey Mouse would say, "Oh boy." So, of course, the first three people aren't Supreme Court justices, but there you've got, I guess we're not going to turn the volume on yet, but we could switch on over to here. There's Roberts and Kavanaugh and Kagan, Amy Coney Barrett. Who was that one? Did they bring in somebody else from as a stand-in? That wasn't any of the ones that I'm aware of. It didn't look like Alito. Who was that? That's kind of weird. I guess no Thomas, no Alito, Gorsuch, no Ketanji Brown Jackson. I do believe though that they've reduced the amount of Supreme Court justices who attend these things at any given time. So I don't know. I don't necessarily know what the deal is with that and who shows up and who doesn't. I know why Alito wouldn't want to go to the ones where Obama was speaking, or maybe even Biden was speaking, because I know that Alito didn't like Obama's criticism of one of the Supreme Court rulings. And so, of course, and he answered back, not true. So, we have the situation again where Robert Reich was trying to talk about, Democrats should boycott this. And again, I disagree wholeheartedly. But what I would like to see, what wouldn't be a terrible thing to see out of Democrats is lots of booing. Drown him out. See if you could actually be so loud that nobody gets to hear what he has to say. Do what you need to do to drown him out completely. If that means just being loud and talking over him the entire time, absolutely do that and see what he does. Because, he's already threatened that people who protest on college campuses, if he doesn't like the college campus protests, he's already said that he's going to deport people who aren't citizens who are protesting on campuses for those things that he doesn't want to see protested. And he said he'll arrest and ban other students who are American citizens. So we'll definitely talk about that more on tomorrow night's show. But that being said, clearly Donald Trump hates the Constitution. Clearly Donald Trump does not appreciate the rights that we have as citizens of these United States. And the conservative MAGA folks who see this are, I'm waiting with bated breath to see just exactly how the MAGA conservative types will react to his wanting to shut down speech on campus. Now, of course, we all know what's going to happen. They're going to agree with it. They're going to find some way to agree with it because they'll never question dear leader. They will never question Herr Fuhrer, Orange Folius, whatever you want to call him. They're never going to stand up in opposition to anything that he says or does, and they'll always find an excuse as to why whatever he did was okay. Even if somebody else did it, they would find fault and problems with it. Biden, Obama, anybody else who's a Democrat, if they did any of those things that Trump is doing, they would absolutely whine, bitch, moan, complain, etc. Hey, Ari, good to see you. Thank you for joining. We will be doing nerdy stuff later if you want to join us for the nerdy stuff, but we had to do a live reaction of the blowhard-in-chief covering the, as I'm calling it, the Pettysburg Address. Or maybe what I'm doing is the Pettysburg Address, because I'm petty AF. So, Breyer was first or second. Yeah, but Breyer's not on the court. He's gone. He's not there. We've got, Alito, Thomas, Gorsuch, Coney Barrett, whatchamacallit, Chief Justice Roberts. We got Justice Jackson, Kagan, and Sotomayor. So, petty away. Call me Pettywop, because I am petty AF. And we'll just keep this kind of going, and we won't turn on the volume of the YouTube video until he starts speaking or whatever. I wonder how he's going to start it off, because it's not a State of the Union address. So this is not even a first 100 days address, because he hasn't even been in office for 100 days yet, which is normally what you end up seeing, like other presidents have done. They've addressed a joint session of Congress 100 days in. Well, inaugurated January 21st, February 21st, March. We're not even in March 21st. It's not even 2 months, let alone 100 days. So, Amy Crony Barrett. I like that. Amy Crony Barrett. That's excellent. All Dems should respond to a signal, stand and turn their backs on Donald. A proper Klingon discommodation. Kapla! Yes. Absolutely 100% agree with that. Glory to you and to your house, Penny to create. Absolutely, I would absolutely 100% agree with them doing that. Also, I would agree with them, causing a ruckus and booing and doing all the other stuff that one might want to do to basically drown out Donald Trump's words that are, going to basically... There should be a drink... I'm sure there are plenty of people who came up with drinking games for this thing. I personally don't want to get, that drunk tonight. So I'm not going to do a drinking game myself. But I can imagine anytime that Donald Trump makes an excuse for Vladimir Putin should require a very large shot. So, yes, Slava Ukraini. And yes, any time that he either disparages Vladimir Zelensky or embraces Vladimir Putin. Oh, there's Melania getting a standing O from all of the people in the at least upper balcony. I'm trying to see if there are... We should flip it over. We're not going to turn the volume on yet, but let's see. Of course, there's those two clowns. I think that's J.D. Vance's wife right there. Are there Democrats standing? I don't know. Are there Democrats clapping and applauding? I would say that you should feel sorry for her, but she knows what she got into. She knows what she created. She knows who she married. And she still stayed with him despite the fact that he, slept with Stormy Daniels. So when he says, the likes you have never seen is when you drink. Yes. Yes. Nobody has better. It's either the likes you've never seen, or nobody has this better. Nobody does this better. Ooh, his cabinet. There's Marco Rubio walking in. He managed to extract himself from the couch, I guess, before J.D. Vance decided to fuck it. And then there's Hegseth and a bunch of other people who, are billionaires or rich people or wealthy people who Donald Trump appointed to help their companies get richer and screw the rest of us. So, what's going on, Big Hook? I did not download the I Like Turtles sound yet. I'm slacking. I definitely need to download. Oh, there's anti-vaccine boy himself, RFK Jr. I I don't know what the thing is, but apparently there's been a thing amongst at least the one conservative talk radio show that I listen to, where they're not calling him RFK Jr. They're calling him RFKJ. Like, he's not a karaoke jockey. Like, what that? Why are you trying to make this all cutesy? Like, him wanting to, bring measles back, or his actions that will cause measles to spread like wildfire even worse, because because we have elected Trump, people feel empowered to not, I guess, enforce vaccine requirements on children, and now measles is spreading, and I'm sure it's going to get even worse well before it gets better. So, but just like, oh God, there's the dog killer herself. But I even forgot my train of thought. Why is there a black guy in there? I don't know. See, look, there's the what I wanted to see. All of the Democrats over on the. I guess I'm hiding the Democrats. Let's move this. Oh, they moved it. Oh well. But all of the Democrats, all on the right. You had many of them sitting, not trying to do anything, not trying to say hello to his cabinet members or whatever. I guess we will see. I guess since most of the Democrats are on the right side of our aisle, they're on the left side of the overall aisle. I guess let me put the Venmo image over on this side so that we can see what's going on when Orange Fulius marches his way, or goose steps his way down the aisle towards the dais. What's going on, Aaron? Glad to see you. Yeah, Christy the Gnome. We need to make all sorts of nicknames. Since Donald Trump loves to make nicknames for all of the people that he despises, we definitely need to have nicknames for all of the people in Donald Trump's cabinet, including Christy the Gnome. I like that. Let's see. My neighbor still has her turtle. Tommy is in his heated room. I like turtles. That is definitely, I need to remember to make sure that after all of my streaming is said and done, that I need to actually download the I Like Turtles audio and make sure that it, make sure that we can play it for Jolie, because that'll be Jolie's sound at this point. We need to have one for Aaron too, I guess. Aaron, what do you want as your sound? I mean, there's got to be something with puppers, since all the puppers that you watch. So we'll see. See, with Mini Mitts, it would be blather, cringe, repeat. Yeah. Blather, cringe, repeat. Mini Mitts. I like that. His little tiny little hands. It was one of the things that when they opened up the Hall of Presidents, when Donald Trump first was elected, and they actually had the animatronic Donald Trump, I said it was a cost-saving measure to elect Donald Trump, because if for some reason the hands of the animatronic Donald Trump would go out at any point during the day, they could always just run over to It's a Small World and use one of their hands to fix it. So, yeah, tiny, tiny, tiny little hands that go along with it. Tiny, tiny, tiny little you-know-what. I mean, we don't necessarily like body shaming here, but he definitely has that little D energy, right? And you can, as I'm talking, and you have Jason Dick, the roll call editor-in-chief, is over here on the other side. We're talking about big D, little D energy, and well, there was Jason Dick, his name up on the screen. Great timing. I thought your sound is the vuvuzela horn. Yes, that was the sound for on Twitch for the Nerdy Dan channel, but I guess I should put that over here for this one as well. I don't know if it's a vuvuzela horn. It's not the vuvuzela horn, but it is like the. So yeah, that was great. Yeah, actually, because there's been several times where I've played the horn, and then Aaron just came into the nerdydand.com chat. So there's Little Johnson. Little Mikey Boy Johnson from see, I don't necessarily I don't fat shame Donald Trump. I will point out when Donald Trump is hypocritical when he fat shames others, trying to claim that he is in some great sort of shape or whatever. But the problem with fat shaming the evil people is that normally the evil people don't hear you. It's the other people who hear you, i.e., you know, the other larger size folk who understand that you have no problem mocking people because of their size. That's my issue with fat shaming. Hey, Orville, good to see you over there on Twitch as well. For some reason, my Twitch chat didn't pop up. There we go. It is up now. It is there. Huzzah. Let's open this one more time. I don't know if this is going to open. Oh, no, it didn't. Good. We are going to, just since we're here, since we can, we will go ahead and contribute and share the GoFundMe. We are still not out of the woods. Oh, I was going to copy it. There we go. Copy, pin, manually here. What's up, VD Hertz? I love your name, VD Hertz. So I understand that. I totally understand that you cannot watch the shithead in chief. I have no problem. I mean, it's understandable, but we have to, especially people who are in the media or who I guess maybe want to be in the media, like creators, we need to watch this because we need to keep an eye on it so we can report to everybody else what's going on. Because like Robert Reich was sitting there talking about how Democrats should boycott. No, Democrats need to stand up against him at all opportunities. I do agree with Robert Reich that we can't just, you know, lay down and play dead like a dog, i.e. what James Carville thinks we should do. But James Carville, you know, is also super concerned about the fact that we're losing elections because we're worried about trans rights. Like, we should be doing a better job explaining why we should care about trans people and why the arguments that are being made against trans folk are ridiculous and absurd. We shouldn't be stepping back or stepping away. And at least the Democrats in the Senate all voted in unison without a single person leaving, even Fetterman. The good thing is that they all voted against the passage of that legislation that would have banned trans women from participating in women's sports. So let's see. But yes, even if you can't watch the Shathid, so to speak, please just make sure to like the stream, share the stream, put it on your socials, whatever. Other people may want to join in, and that's the only way that we grow is if by everybody sharing everything, commenting on everything. I've had a lot of conservatives commenting on the very small video of Zelensky and his two hilarious things that took place. If you have not seen that yet, my little video where we go over the two reactions of Zelensky. The first thing when Trump says that, you know, people take him seriously or whatever, and yeah, it was hilarious. Let's see who's coming now. Oh, there he is, the Orange Fool himself, Orange Foolius. See, there's Steve Scalise with him as the other Louisiana MAGA traitor. Steve Scalise is standing right there next to him, the head of the GOP in the House, after, you know, Speaker Johnson. I'm literally actually shocked that Louisiana has two congresspeople that are such high up, considering the fact that Louisiana is not any sort of meaningful state when it comes to how national politics goes. I mean, we lost a seat because of population and reapportionment, and so now we're only at 6. And yeah, let's see who is going to talk to Trump, who is going to try. Trump got ignored there. Trump is only shaking hands on his right. This is not normal. Amen. Yes, this is not normal indeed. We're clipping that over on Twitch. Oh boy, is that MTG right there? Is the camera now panning over away from the Democrats because the Democrats held up a sign? Good sign of that. There's another individual who just sitting down and folding his arms, not doing anything. Somebody can look that up for me because I don't have the volume on at the moment because we're only going to turn it on once he starts talking. Who is the person who held the sign, "This is not normal"? If somebody could find that out for me, that would be excellent. Let's see. There's Jasmine Crockett there, sitting down, looking at her phone. Thank you, Representative Crockett, for sitting down for the president of the bloviator-in-chief, so to speak. Not supposed to wear communist hats. Nope. You would think that that would be a matter of issue of decorum. There's another individual just kind of sitting there, not paying any attention to Der Fuhrer. Couple people standing, but not doing anything. I could understand you saying hello to Steve Scalise, because he is actually one of your peers in the House, and, well, that's being cordial. But, what was that? New York Senator Schumer? Was that Chuck Schumer up there on the right that they missed? Yep, he's just kind of giving some side eye, standing there, but not doing anything, not shaking his hand. So good. The Democrats are doing exactly what they should do. Not honoring him, not paying him any mind, not doing anything other than, you know, looking at their phones, sitting down, some of them are, and, you know, generally just despising his horribleness. Did you see Roger Stone? I don't know if I saw Roger Stone yet or not. Let's see, there's Barrett. Did the other Supreme Court justice, was it Sotomayor? Did she just skip him or ignore him? Like, I kind of missed that because the camera angle is weird from this particular point of view. How many generals are there will get fired because, you know, oh, they're all white. Never mind. Pete Hegseth is not going to fire them. Pete Hegseth will not fire anybody who's, you know, a white general, unless they're also woke, I guess. So you wouldn't be surprised if the Taint Bros got invited to this farce. Oh, I wouldn't be surprised about that either. Oh, yes, there's all 6B MTG sitting there with her stupid hat. Does it say 45-47, which means 45 through 47? He was in 46. Because it should be 45, like, /47. So, there he goes. Shaking the hands of his VP. I guess we should turn on the volume to hear what the idiot has to say. Is that the text of your speech? Unfortunately, you don't have Pelosi up there, but rip it up when he's done. So, and there's Melania. Melania, who probably wants Justin Trudeau more than she wants Trump, but, you know. What's up, Sylvia Clefant? Good to see you. MTG is more orange than Trump. Oh, and there's the Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice. Old Bobert. Bobo the Clown. Boobert. Bobo the Clown is what I tend to call her. That's what I call her, Bobo the Clown, because she's a clown, and she's Bobo.
Thank you.
Had to move districts to win. I'll move this back over here, I guess. Who's laughing? There's that clown right there, and Ben Shapiro. Forget what that other clown's name is. Yes, cheering the end of democracy.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
It's a great honor. Thank you very much. Speaker Johnson, Vice President Vance,
Johnson.
the First Lady of the United States.
Someone who I would have never married if it wasn't for the fact that I'm a billionaire, maybe. Yeah, put the Venmo right here. You're like, there you go. There's the Venmo, right over Trump's face. Right over Orange Julius. Capo Shapiro. Yes, the Capo Shapiro, yes.
Members of the United States Congress, thank you very much.
Members of Congress, you can hear him without having to see him, right?
Citizens, America is back.
America is back, but they're talking about the Confederate States of America, not the United States of America. The United States of America is suffering greatly at the hands of Trump and Musk and Doge and all that other bullshit. So, I need to figure out how to get that going.
6 weeks ago,
Thank you, Aaron,
I stood
for the
beneath
Venmo.
the dome of this
Appreciate you.
Capitol and proclaimed the dawn of the golden age of America.
The dawn of
From
the
that
golden
moment
shower
on, it has
age
been
of
nothing
America.
but swift and unrelenting action to usher
Thank
in
you,
the
Mad
greatest and most successful era in the history of our country.
The greatest error in the
We have
history of our
accomplished
country.
more in 43 days than most administrations accomplished in 4 years or 8 years. And we
No
are just
administration has
getting
ruined the United
started.
States of America as badly as we have, and we're proud of that. So is Putin. What is his obsession with the gold? Because golden showers. He loves golden showers. Golden showers while he sleeps.
I return to this chamber tonight to report that America's
All
momentum
lies is
is
all
back.
Trump.
Our spirit is back. Our pride is
What
back.
spirit?
Our confidence is back. And the American dream
The
is
confidence
surging
is
bigger
back.
and better
Emphasis on con.
than ever before.
And the entire world is laughing at us.
The American dream is unstoppable.
That's
and our
funny.
country
Mad
is
Mac
on
gave
the
yourself a
verge of
membership. That's
comeback,
hilarious.
the likes of which
And you gave
the
Michael
world
Hunt
has
one,
never
too.
witnessed and perhaps will never witness again. There's never been anything like it.
There's never been anything like it. As horrible of a
The
president as I am.
presidential election of November 5th was a mandate like has not been seen in many decades.
Obama
We
had a
won all
mandate. You
7
did it,
swing
you stupid
states,
a-hole.
giving us an electoral college victory of 312 votes.
And when Obama had more, you didn't say he had a mandate. You questioned his citizenship. But hey, whatever. Yes, Ari, exactly. The spirit he
We
talks
won the
about is a
popular
poltergeist.
vote by big numbers and won counties in our country.
One counties. Counties. Land doesn't vote. Counties doesn't matter. There's another Democrat standing up. Good for you. Good for you. Absolutely 100% good for you for standing up and causing a ruckus. If you loved the USA,
And
you
won
wouldn't be supporting
counties
this
in our
president.
country, 2,700 to 525 on a map that reads almost completely red for Republican.
Land doesn't vote, you idiot. Land doesn't vote.
Now, for the first time in modern history, more Americans believe that our country is headed in the right direction than the wrong direction. In fact, it's an astonishing record.
I'm
27
glad
point
these
swing,
Democrats
the
are standing
most
up and
ever.
actually trying to cause a little bit of a ruckus. Good for y'all. I mean, the Republicans had no problem when it was a Joe Barton that did the whole UI thing. So good. Stand up. This is the only way that the Democrats can stand up to the president is by standing up to him
Small business
vocally.
Optimism saw its single largest one-month gain ever recorded.
Oh, are they going to kick somebody out?
Jump.
Are they going to kick out a congressman, a sitting congressperson? J.D. Vance just called for him.
To uphold and maintain decorum in the House and to cease any further disruptions. That's your warning.
Keep talking. He absolutely has no mandate.
Members are
Absolutely.
engaging
Good
in
for
willful
you.
and continuing breach of decorum, and the chair is prepared to direct the Sergeant at Arms to restore order to the joint session.
If they remove members of Congress for this, after we've never done that to them, that'll be interesting. Democrats should stand in a circle around anybody that's trying to get removed. Yeah, that's true too. MTG as well. She didn't hold decorum. The Republicans never hold decorum. That's the double standard that we have. Democrats are expected to have decorum. Republicans
Mr.
are
Green,
not.
take your seat.
And Republicans
Take your
are
seat,
not.
sir. Take your seat.
Republicans are not expected to do the same thing.
Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the Sergeant at Arms to restore order.
I thought you already told the Sergeant at Arms to restore
Remove
order.
this gentleman from
Had
the
to do it
chamber.
again? Good for you. Good for you standing up to this evil president that we have. Oh my God. We want decorum, but we're going to start singing na 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 hey hey goodbye. Al Green. Thank you, Al Green. Al Green is a national hero in my mind right now. Thank you, Al Green, for doing what you're doing.
Hold and maintain decorum in the House. Mr. President, you continue.
Thank you.
I mean, I like to be politically knowledgeable. I don't know every person's name who serves in Congress. So.
And taken more than 400 executive actions, a record to restore common sense, safety, optimism,
when Republicans
and
didn't
wealth
like executive orders and said that they were not how presidents should
me to do
anything,
job, and
that
I'm
laws
doing
come
it.
from Congress. You remember that? I don't. Pepperidge Farm remembers. Yeah, they should do that bit over bit, take over the entire time. Absolutely. They should. I wonder if they're going to have an order of here's the next person who's going to stand up. Here's the next person that's going to stand up. I don't know if that's a first or not. It might very well be.
It has been stated by many that the first month of our presidency, it's our presidency, is the most successful in the history of our nation. By many.
That's impeached. I don't know.
And what makes it even more impressive is that
it may very well be the
number
first.
Number 2 is George Washington. How about that? How about that?
George Washington was number 1. You're definitely a number 2.
Hours of taking the
not number 2,
office,
but a number 2.
I declared a national emergency on our southern border, and I deployed the U.S. military and border patrol to repel
and we will see. They're not allowed to repel the invasion. They're not allowed to do law enforcement activities on the border in our country.
Crossings last month were by far the lowest ever recorded, ever.
Well, but that implies that you recorded everyone that you caught. That you didn't record them. I question whether or not the Trump administration actually recorded the numbers accurately.
And they chose not to come. Much easier that way.
They chose not to come, unlike my wives who didn't have a choice. They just weren't going to come with me.
In history, there were hundreds of thousands of illegal crossings a month, and virtually all of them, including murderers, drug dealers, gang members, and people from mental institutions and insane asylums.
People that I would be right at home with.
Into our country. Who would want to do that? This is my 5th such speech to Congress. And once again, I look at the Democrats in front of me.
Holy crap.
I realize there is absolutely nothing I can say to make them happy or to make them
Yes, there is. There's absolutely one thing that you can say to make Democrats happy. I resign the office of the President of the United States. That is exactly the one thing you can do that would make all those Democrats happy.
Entire nations, or announce the answers to the greatest economy in history, or the stoppage of crime to the lowest levels ever recorded. And these people sitting right here will not clap, will not stand,
Musk
and
steals, save Medicaid. Look at those signs. Good.
Astronomical achievements. They won't do it, no matter what. Five times
I put the ass in astronomical achievement.
And it just shouldn't be this way.
I mean, I like that they have signs. I like Al Green's form of protest better. That's what they call good trouble.
So Democrats sitting before me, for just this one night, why not join us in celebrating so many incredible wins for America?
Show me a win. Show me an actual win.
For the good of our nation,
it's a win for Putin.
Let's work together and
win for billionaires.
Make America great again.
I can understand why maybe some of the more geriatric folks like Pelosi aren't standing, but, you know, for anything. I wouldn't anticipate Pelosi being able to, you know, have to deal with the Sergeant of Arms, right?
My administration is fighting to deliver the change America
needs.
He is
getting pissed off. He's going to be like,
he's
going to turn orange to like orange red.
Deserves, and we're doing it.
If Donald Trump turns
This is a
red, does he
time
actually
for
become
big
like
dreams
an
and bold
orange red,
action.
or does it
Upon
actually make it
taking
through the
office, I
makeup?
imposed an immediate freeze on all federal hiring, a freeze on all new federal regulations, and a freeze on all foreign aid.
Yes, freeze on all foreign aid. So who cares if people starve or die of HIV, AIDS, or complications thereof? Who cares about that? Who cares if people die from malaria in
I terminated the ridiculous
Africa?
Green New Scam. I withdrew from the unfair Paris Climate Accord, which was costing us trillions of dollars.
I thought Nancy
other
was holding a
countries
bottle
were
of
not
wine.
paying.
Yeah, Jeff. I think it's a cane,
withdrew
but
from the corrupt World Health Organization.
I mean, he probably won't stand up. Jeffries won't stand up.
And I also withdrew from the anti-American UN Human Rights Council.
Because who needs human rights when you have Donald Trump? Because they're going to go away anyway.
All of Biden's environmental restrictions that were making our country far less safe and totally unaffordable. And importantly, we ended the last administration's insane electric vehicle mandate, saving our auto workers and companies from
What does
economic
Elon Musk think about that?
destruction.
What does Elon Musk think about that? That he doesn't like electric vehicles, considering the fact that Elon Musk sells electric vehicles.
To unshackle our economy, I have directed that for every one new regulation, 10 old regulations
Oh,
must
he's up
be
to
eliminated.
10 now? I
Just
thought it
like
was for
I
every
did
one,
in my
2 had
very
to go away.
successful first
Now it's
day.
10. And I'm sure there's no rhyme or reason as to which 10 will be eliminated or reduced. You show me a bad regulation, I'll say, fine, get rid of
And
it.
in that first term,
But
we
you
set
have to show me
records
why
on
it's bad.
ending unnecessary rules and regulations like no other president
Ending
had done
unnecessary
before.
rules and regulations,
We
like
ordered all
justifying your
federal
job every
workers
week
to return to
5
the
bullet
office.
points.
They will either show up for work in person or
Elmo
be
is
removed
there, yes.
from
The
their job.
Felmo is there.
And we've ended weaponized government where, as an example, a sitting president is allowed to viciously prosecute his political opponent, like me.
Oh, jeez.
How did that work
So
out?
I'm going to viciously prosecute everyone else I disagree with.
Not too good.
Yes. You would think that hat would be viewed as being against decorum. False.
And
Hilarious.
I've stopped all government censorship and brought back free speech in America. It's back.
No. You did not. Free speech in America, unless you're on a college campus and I disagree with you, then we're going to deport you or arrest you and ban you from college campuses. That was today. He said that
And
today.
2 days ago, I signed an order making English the official language of the United States of America.
What happens if you need a form in another language? Huh? We're supposed to be a melting pot. But, that's just more xenophobic
I renamed
BS.
the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America.
So stupid. No, you didn't. The world is still going to call it the Gulf of Mexico, you stupid idiot.
And
But-
likewise, I renamed, for a great president, William McKinley, Mount McKinley again.
Working, so can't chime in too much today. Understandably, Big Cook, but thank you for stopping by.
Beautiful Alaska.
Dems are weak thus far, except for Al Green. Al Green
We've
stood up
ended the
and
tyranny of so-called
he got kicked out, but
diversity,
fine. He
equity,
made
and
a point.
inclusion policies all across.
At least he
the
spelled it out.
entire
At least he actually
federal
said
government
diversity. At least he
and
actually
indeed
said the
the
whole
private
words:
sector and
diversity,
our military.
equity, and inclusion, and didn't just say DEI. So we all know that he's against
And
those 3
our
things,
country
right?
will be woke no longer.
I'm making lots of Twitch clips for this one.
We believe that whether you are a doctor, an accountant, a lawyer, or an air traffic controller, you should be hired and promoted based on skill and competence, not race or gender. Very important.
Well, that's why you have DEI, because previously they would just
You
hire
should be
white
hired
dudes, and that would be the end of it.
Based on merit, And the Supreme Court, in a brave and very powerful decision, has allowed us to do so. Thank you. Thank you.
So powerful. Nobody's as powerful as us.
We have removed the poison of critical race theory from our public schools.
They can't even know. Critical race theory is something taught in law school,
official
dummy.
policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
Except that's kindergarten cop biology, and kindergarten cop biology is not something that's rooted in science. Science says that there is more to it, that the look on two sexes or two genders is overly simplistic.
From playing in women's sports.
What, so all 10 people who are trans women? I mean, I agree. Men should not be playing in women's sports. Trans women are women. We're not men.
3 years ago, Peyton McNabb was an all-star high school athlete, one of the best, preparing for a future in college sports. But when her girls' volleyball match was invaded by a male, he smashed the ball so hard in Peyton's face, causing traumatic brain injury, partially paralyzing her right side and ending her athletic career. It was a shot like she's never seen before. She's never seen anything like it. Peyton is here tonight in the gallery, and Peyton, from now on, schools will kick the men off the girls' team, or they will lose all federal funding.
That is a violation of several laws, I believe. I mean, I don't feel good for anybody who gets injured during sports, but there are very strong women who could have very well done the same thing. Like, if I tried to get into a fight with Ronda Rousey, she would absolutely whip my ass. So some of the blue states is looking more and more likely. Federal taxes can be removed from paychecks.
If you really want
no
to
taxation,
see
no
numbers,
representation.
just take a look at what happened in the women's boxing, weightlifting, track and field, swimming, or cycling, where a male recently finished a long-distance race 5 hours and 14 minutes ahead of a woman for a new record.
I don't believe that.
5 hours.
I don't believe
Broke
that.
the record by 5 hours. It's demeaning for women.
And absolutely, yes.
And it's very
exploiting
bad
that
for
poor
our
woman
country. We're not
and her
going to put up
injuries.
with it any longer.
Oh, and there's the other idiot whose husband might be deported. And she's all crying about it. Save my husband. He's got cocaine.
What I have just described is only a small fraction of the common sense revolution that is now, because of us, sweeping the entire world. Common sense has become a common theme.
The only common sense, the only sense that's common under Trump is nonsense.
Go back. Never. Never going to let that happen.
I'm never going to give you up. Never going to let you down.
Among my
never going to run around and desert you.
Priorities is to rescue our economy and get dramatic and immediate relief to working families.
I like the laugh.
As you know, we
rescue the
inherited
economy.
from
Nope,
the last
not with tariffs.
administration an economic catastrophe and an inflation nightmare. Their policies drove up
what do you think
energy
tariffs are going to do,
prices,
dummy?
pushed up grocery
Oh,
costs,
it
and
was
drove
Donald
the
Trump's
necessities of
policies
life
that
out of
set
reach for
tariffs. You can find more
millions
videos
and
on that
millions
on
of Americans.
liberaldanradio.com.
Never had anything like it. We suffered the worst inflation in 48 years, but perhaps even in the history of our country. They're not sure. As president, I'm fighting every day to reverse this damage and make America affordable again.
Make America affordable again. Musk steals, protect veterans, save Medicaid, false.
Joe Biden especially
How many
let
of
the
those does he
price of
have?
eggs get out of control. The egg price is out of control.
I thought you were going to lower the prices of eggs on day
one.
one.
We're working hard to get it back.
The lie detector
down.
determined that
Secretary,
that was a lie.
Do a good job on that. You inherited a total mess from the previous administration. Do a good job.
They are saying lie. I hear some people shouting out lie. There's someone with resist. Two people with resist shirts.
A major focus
I guess
of
they
our
got
fight
kicked out
to
too.
defeat inflation is rapidly reducing the cost of energy. The previous administration cut the number of new oil and gas leases by 95%,
I'll get you the YouTube channel censors.
slowed pipeline construction to a halt, and closed more than 100 power plants. We are opening
We
up
call
many
him
of
Chris
those
Wrong,
power
not Chris
plants
Right. He's
now.
Chris Wrong. I mean, this may very well be the most cursed at episode of Liberal Dan Radio, or at least the episode of Liberal Dan Radio where I say the most expletives, because this guy's fucking bullshit.
A national energy emergency.
How does he get away with it? Because he could piss on them and tell his supporters that it's raining, and they'll be like, "Oh, I forgot my umbrella."
Liquid gold under our feet than any
Speaking of
nation
liquid
on
gold,
Earth,
more
by
golden
far.
showers.
And now I fully authorize the most talented team ever assembled to go and get it. It's called Drill, Baby, Drill.
Man, it's unfortunate that Sarah Palin got that stuck into the vernacular. Oy.
My administration is also working
drilling
on
was
a
up under Biden, so what the hell are you
natural
saying?
gas pipeline in Alaska, among the largest in the world, where Japan, South
The
Korea,
most natural
and other
gas comes
nations
out of my
want to
mouth.
be our partner with investments of trillions of dollars each. There's never been anything like that one. It will be truly spectacular. It's all set to go. The permitting
Drill baby
is
drill is
gotten.
what the dentists say.
And
Yeah.
later this
Drill
week,
baby
I
drill is
will
what
also
dentists will
take
say after they
historic
remove
action to
fluoride from the
dramatically
water.
expand production
Exactly,
of
Tim.
critical minerals and rare earths here in the USA.
When you can't dazzle them with brilliance, baffle them with bullshit. Pretty much. This is a pile of manure.
To further combat inflation, we will not only be reducing the cost of energy, but will be ending the flagrant waste of taxpayer dollars.
Why? By making them come into work when it's cheaper for them to work from home? Are you going to stop people from? Are you going to stop directing all of the people to stay at your resorts when they could stay at someplace cheaper?
The brand new Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. Perhaps you've heard of it.
There's the shithead right there. Deport Elon. Exactly. Oil subsidies continue. One of the funniest things is that oil companies love the carbon capture stuff, and the conservatives down here hate it. They should have Deport Elon signs. I've never had this type of hatred towards another person before in my life. There's Elizabeth Warren tweeting, or whatever. I can feel my blood pressure going up every word that Warren Jeffers speaks.
He's working very hard. He didn't need this. He didn't need this. Thank you very much.
He didn't need this, but he invested in you, and therefore he's getting a return on his investment.
They just don't want to admit that. Just listen to some of the appalling waste we have already identified.
I'm saying it right now, the appalling waste of speech.
HHS to provide free housing and cars for
rare earths.
Illegal aliens. $45 million for diversity, equity, and inclusion scholarships in Burma. $40 million to improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. Nobody knows what that is. $8 million to promote LGBTQI+ in the African nation of Lesotho, which nobody has ever heard of.
I agree with you, Mad Mac. They're not being as loud as they should have been.
And Afro-Colombian
Make them kick every single one of y'all out if it takes
America.
that.
$60 million.
Make that your
$8 million
protest.
for making mice transgender.
What? No.
This is real. $32 million for
why would I
left-wing
believe anything?
propaganda
Why would I believe
operation
anything that he says?
Moldova.
Even if those things
$10
were
million
true,
for
I wouldn't believe it because
circumcision in
he lies.
Mozambique. $20 million for
the reason they have circumcision
the
in
Arab Sesame
Mozambique
Street
is because it has been shown
in the
that
Middle
if you
East.
if
It's a
circumcised
program. $20 million
men
for a
who
program.
in areas of high
$1.9
HIV transmission,
billion
that you actually reduce the
recently
transmission rates
created
by removing the foreskin.
Decarbonization of Homes Committee.
It's just true.
Headed up. And we
So
know
it's a
she's
way to
involved.
fight HIV
Just at
transmission.
the last moment, the
is
money was
to- is
passed
to
over
get circumcised.
by a woman named Stacey Abrams. Have you ever heard of her?
Stacey Abrams is a hell of a lot
A
better person than you.
$3.5 million consulting contract for lavish fish monitoring. $1.5 million for voter confidence in Liberia. $14 million for social cohesion in Mali. $59 million for illegal alien hotel rooms in New York City. He's a real estate developer, doing very well.
Is he doing Morse code with his blinking right there?
$250,000
SOS,
to increase vegan
save
local
our
climate
ship.
action innovation in Zambia. $42 million for social and behavior
Has he named any
change
countries,
in
any
Uganda.
place else other than African places?
$14 million for improving public procurement in Serbia.
Well,
$47 million.
There you go. There's at least one. But he started off with like all African nations because, you know, why else would he do that?
You know what?
Because they only like white South Africans. They don't like the rest of
$101
Africa.
million for DEI contracts at the Department of Education. The most ever paid, nothing even like it. Under the Trump administration, all of these
Why did all
scams,
Dem senators vote
and
for
they're far
Rubio
worse,
Secretary
but
of
I
State?
didn't think it was appropriate to talk about them.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, Marco Rubio is probably the most reasonable person he appointed to a position.
Swiftly terminated
because
by
at
a group
least,
of very
you know, he's
intelligent, mostly young people.
On the crazy
Headed up
scale
by
of
Ilana,
this is
we
not
appreciate
crazy
it. We
and this
found
is crazy,
hundreds
he's
of
here
billions
instead
of
of
dollars
way up
of
here.
fraud.
I can understand the Marco Rubio vote. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with him. I don't think he'll be a good Secretary of State. But of all of the people that Donald Trump could appoint to Secretary of State, he probably was the best of all of the people being considered.
Back the money
or the
and
least harmful, I should
to
say.
Fight inflation and other things. Taking back a lot of that money. We got it just in time.
That's not a good answer.
This is just the beginning. The Government Accountability Office, a federal government office, has estimated annual fraud of over $500 billion in our nation, and we are working very hard to stop it.
It could have been like Marjorie Taylor Greene.
We're also identifying shocking levels of incompetence and probable fraud in the Social Security program.
Thank you for joining.
For our
Thank you for stopping by.
And that our seniors and people that we love rely on. Believe it or not, government databases list 4.7 million Social Security members from people aged 100 to 109 years old. It lists 3.6 million people from ages 110 to 119.
Because you don't understand how software works.
I know some people that are rather elderly, but not quite that elderly. 3.47 million people from ages 120 to 129.
Liar. I mean, I would say drink every time he lies, but everybody would die of alcohol poisoning.
3.5 million people from ages 140
is it me that's low, Jolie, or is it
and money is being paid to many of them.
Well?
And we're searching right now. In fact, Pam, good luck.
Yeah, all these people are untouchable exactly what the
You're going
founders
to find
did
it.
not want.
But a lot of money is paid out to people because it just keeps getting paid, and nobody does. And it really hurts Social Security and hurts our country. 1.3 million people from ages
I have it on max for my
to
volume.
159 and over
if this needs to be up at all,
130,000 people, according to the Social Security databases,
I have this pretty much
are
on max.
age over 160 years old. We have a healthier country than I thought, Bobby.
False lies. 100% lies. Why would Harris show up? Why would she even be there? She's not a senator. She's not in the House. She's not she doesn't have a position in government.
Including
she deserves a break
to finish
today.
1,039 people between the ages of 220 and 229. One person between the age of 240 and 249, and one person is listed at 360 years of age.
So maybe that's a clerical error.
More than 100 years.
Just because it's a clerical error, it doesn't mean that it's fraud.
But we're going to find out where that money's going, and it's not going to be pretty. By slashing all of the fraud, waste, and theft we can find, we will defeat inflation, bring down mortgage rates, lower car payments and grocery prices, protect our seniors, and put more money in
There
the
you go.
pockets of American
That'll help.
families.
That might make things better now.
And today, interest rates took a beautiful drop, big, beautiful drop. It's about time. And in the
stock
near
market
future,
has
I
been
want
plummeting
to
as
do
well,
what has
you
not
know.
been done in 24 years. Balance the federal budget.
Noah was 900 years old, supposedly. Again, I'll say it again. Why is it Marjorie Taylor Greene
With that goal in mind,
not
we
showing
have developed
decorum?
in great detail what we are calling the gold card, which goes on
The
sale
golden
very,
shower
very soon.
card.
For $5 million, we will allow the most successful job-creating people from all over the world to buy a path to U.S.
I like how they're laughing at the gold
citizenship.
card.
It's
Like,
the
do
green
they
card,
even know
but,
it's a joke?
better
They even
and more
understand that it's a
sophisticated.
joke. It's a laugh.
And these people will have to pay tax in our country. They won't have to pay tax from where
Yeah.
they came.
You can't balance the budget if
money
you're going to
that
put
they've
us
made, you
trillions
wouldn't
more
wanna
in
do
debt,
that, but
right?
They have to pay tax, create jobs. They'll also be taking people out
You're
of
not requiring
colleges
them to
and
take
paying
jobs.
for them so that we can
You're
keep
not
them
requiring them to
in
create
our
jobs. You're
country
only
instead of
requiring them
having
to pay
be-
money.
being forced
They could
out.
pay money and do nothing.
Number one, at the top school, as an example, being forced out and not being allowed to stay and create tremendous numbers of jobs and great success for a company out there. So while we take out the criminals, killers, traffickers, and child predators who are allowed to enter our country under the open
Yeah, that is
border
not how- that is not
policy
how
of
international
these
taxes
people,
work.
The Democrats,
Correct.
the Biden administration,
Trump's
the
volume is
open
still low, but
border,
that's a blessing.
insane policies that you've allowed to destroy
Seems
our
still loud to
country.
me, though.
We will now bring in
Got louder in my
brilliant,
ears.
hardworking, job-creating people. They're going to pay a lot of money, and we're going to reduce our debt with that money.
There's like 5 people on the left side of their left side standing up.
Americans
Are those the flow
have
over
given
Republicans?
us a mandate for bold and profound change. For nearly 100 years, the federal bureaucracy has grown until it has crushed our freedoms, ballooned our deficits, and held back America's potential in every possible way. The nation founded by pioneers and risk takers.
Exactly,
now
V.D.
drowns
Hurst. The
under
Democrats could be
millions
much
and millions
louder
of pages
because the
of
Republicans wouldn't
regulations and
prevent
debt.
themselves to
Approvals
decorum
that
and
should take
restrict
10
themselves in
days to
the
get,
decorum that they show.
Instead, take 10 years, 15 years, and even 20 years before you're rejected.
Al Green set the example,
Meanwhile,
and
we have
everyone else needs
hundreds
to
of
follow
thousands
it.
of federal workers who have not been showing up to work. My administration will reclaim power
Not
from
been
this
showing up to
unaccountable
work. No.
bureaucracy,
Working
and
from
we
home
will
still
restore
means you
true
show up to work.
democracy to America again.
And I thought Republicans said that we're not we don't live in a democracy. Why don't they ever complain when Trump and Musk and everyone else says that? They always say, we're not a democracy, we're a republic. But when Trump says return democracy,
Will
okay.
be removed from office immediately. Because we are draining the swamp. It's very simple. And the days of rule by unelected bureaucrats are over.
Yeah, I don't know where John Fetterman is sitting. Maybe John Fetterman is like behind Trump at the dais, just doing his thing. Or maybe in front of Trump, who knows?
And the next phase of our plan to deliver the greatest economy in history is for this Congress to pass tax cuts for everybody. They're in there. They're waiting for you
Everybody.
to vote.
Everybody
And I'm sure
meaning
that
the
people
billionaires.
on my right, I don't mean the Republican right, but my right here, I'm sure you're going to vote for those tax cuts because otherwise I don't believe the people will ever vote you into office. So I'm doing you a big favor by telling you that. But I know this group is going to be voting for the tax.
Because they love to kiss the asses of billionaires.
Thank you. a very, very big
Hell,
part of our
I stopped
plan.
being a
We had
Democrat for
tremendous
years
success
because
in
they
our first
endorsed an
term with it.
unrepentant
A very big
convicted
part
felon
of
for
our
Congress
plan.
here in
We're seeking
Louisiana.
permanent income
Doesn't mean I
tax cuts
moved any more
all
to the
across
right.
the board.
I
And
moved
to
more to
get
the left.
urgently needed relief to Americans
But yes,
hit
the
especially
Democrats
hard by
have
inflation.
really showed themselves to
I'm
not have a
calling
big
for
enough
no
spine.
tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security benefits for our great seniors.
No tax on overtime, but then according to Project 2025, they want to change the rules of how overtime works, so you'll never actually get paid overtime. Start by paying your taxes, yes.
And I also
I like her sign. At least her sign is
want to make
is
interest
one that she
payments
can actually write
on
whatever
car
she wants
loans
to.
tax deductible, but only if the car is made in America.
That's no way that that's going to pass. No way. No way that that would hold muster. But that's something new.
And by the way, we're going to have growth in the auto industry like nobody's ever seen. Plants are opening up all over the place. Deals are being made. Never seen. That's a combination of the election
Like plants,
win
do you
and
mean
tariffs.
like, you know, things that
It's
grow,
a
or like
beautiful
the things that
word,
are stuck
isn't it?
there, placed there,
That, along with our other policies,
like
will
somebody was planted there?
allow our auto industry to absolutely boom. It's going to boom.
Exactly, VD
Spoke to
Hertz.
the
Every
majors
single
today,
Dem should have made it a point to
three,
get kicked out.
The top people,
Every
and
single
they're so
one.
excited. In fact,
Break
already
decorum.
numerous car companies
You don't
have
hold
announced that they
decorum
will
for
be
Nazis.
building massive automobile
Nazis don't
plants in
deserve
America.
decorum.
With
Bigots don't
Honda
deserve
just
decorum.
announcing a new plant
Putin's
in
bitch
Indiana,
doesn't deserve
one
decorum.
of the largest anywhere in the world.
The Thune.
And this has taken place since our great victory on November 5th, a date which will hopefully go down as one of the most important in the history of our country.
It'll show the decline of our country. That's the only importance. It shows the decline of the
In
country.
addition, as part of our tax cuts, we want to cut taxes on domestic production and all manufacturing. And just as we did before, we will provide 100% expensing. It will be retroactive to January 20th, 2025. And it was one of the main reasons why our tax cuts were so successful in our first term, giving us the most successful economy in the history of our country. First term. We had a great first term.
Yeah. So great that so many people, hundreds of
If you don't
thousands
make your
of people
product in
needlessly
America,
died
however,
from
Under the
COVID.
Trump administration, you will pay a tariff, and in some cases, a rather large one. Other countries have used tariffs against us for decades, and now it's our turn to start using them against those other countries.
And we're going to
On
raise
average,
prices
the
for consumers,
European Union,
and they're going to be screwed,
China, Brazil,
and you're going to not be able to afford
India,
anything anymore.
Mexico and Canada, have you heard of them?
Have you heard of,
And
what
countless
kind of
other
dumbass
nations
question
charge
is
us
that?
tremendously
Have you
higher
heard of
tariffs
Mexico or Canada? I
than we
haven't.
charge them.
I renamed the
It's
Gulf
very
of
unfair.
Mexico to something else,
India
supposedly.
charges us auto tariffs higher than 100%. China's average tariff on our products is twice.
I really did
what we
think somebody
charge
would be
them.
wearing a maxi pad
And
on their
South
ear.
Korea's average tariff
Good one,
is
Jeff.
4 times higher. Think of that, 4 times higher. And we give so much help militarily and in so many other ways to South Korea. But that's
Viva
what
Mexico.
happens.
Probably much better
This
in
is
Mexico
happening
right now
by
than in
friend and foe.
Los Estados
The
Unidos.
system is not fair to the United States and never was. And so on April 2nd, I wanted to make it April 1st, but I didn't want to be accused of April Fool's Day. That's not.
Maybe the
just
only
one day.
smart
It's
thing he's
cost us
ever
a lot of
done.
money.
Because y'all know that
But
if you made it
we're
April
going to do
1st, that
it
people
in
would be saying,
April.
was
I'm
this
a
an
very
April Fool's Day?
superstitious person. April 2nd,
He's a very stupid
reciprocal
person.
tariffs kick in. And whatever they tariff us, other countries, we will tariff them. That's
Jeff
reciprocal.
Curry,
back
J.D.
and
Vance is
forth.
hands
Whatever
down,
they
rubbing
tax
his
us,
smooth chair.
we will tax them. If they do non-monetary tariffs to keep us out of their market, then we will do non-monetary barriers to keep them out of our market. There's a lot of that, too. They don't even allow us in their market. We will take in trillions and trillions of dollars and create jobs like we have never seen before. I did it with China, and I did it with others, and the Biden administration couldn't do anything about
There's
it.
no,
because
there's
so
no
much
such
money
thing
they
as a
couldn't do anything
non-monetary
about it.
tariff.
We have been ripped off for
like
decades.
there might be
by nearly every
non-tariff
country
measures
on
that you
Earth,
can deal with, but there's
and
no
we
such thing
will
as a
not
non-monetary
let that
tariff.
happen any
A tariff
longer.
by definition is non-monetary.
Much has been said.
Yes, that
over
face
the
is
last
absolutely
3 months
100%
about
what everyone
Mexico
is
and
feeling,
Canada.
but you need to be louder
We have
about
very
it.
large deficits with both of them, but even more importantly, they've allowed fentanyl to come into our country at levels never seen before,
Exactly,
killing
Ari.
hundreds of thousands of our citizens and many very young, beautiful people, destroying families. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. They are, in effect, receiving
Since you started,
subsidies of
stock
hundreds
index
of
futures
billions
have
of
fallen.
dollars.
Exactly.
We pay
Stock market's
subsidies to
tumbling.
Canada and to
We're gonna
Mexico
enter a
of
Great
hundreds
Depression.
of billions of dollars, and the United
Not
States
just
will
mentally,
not be doing that
financially
any
as
longer.
well.
We're not going to do it any longer. Thanks to our America First policies we're putting into place, we have had
Thanks to America's worst
$1.7 trillion
policies.
of new investment in America in just the past few weeks. The combination of the election and our economic policies that people of SoftBank, one of the most brilliant anywhere in the world, announced a $200 billion investment. OpenAI and Oracle, Larry Ellison, announced $500
See, I need to have my 2 girls with me
billion
to lower my blood pressure
investment,
after
which
this
they
crap.
wouldn't
Oh,
have
I'll be
done
definitely
if
playing with
Kamala
my
had won.
pups when I go downstairs.
Apple
100%, absolutely.
Announced $500 billion investment. Tim Cook called me. He said, I cannot spend it fast enough. It's going to be much higher than that.
But that's what they always do.
Building their
VD,
plants
that
here instead of in China.
they always take credit
And
for the
just
things that the
yesterday,
Democrats
Taiwan
do and then blame the
Semiconductor,
Democrats
the
for what
biggest
they
in the
do.
world, most powerful
It's
in
what
the
they
world,
do.
has a tremendous amount, 97% of the market, announced a $165
I'm sure Donald Trump's
going to
try and claim that he made the 3-point shot that Obama made.
Right here in the USA.
CHIPS Act. That's Joe Biden. That is a Joe Biden thing. And you're taking credit for the Joe Biden thing. And these idiots are clapping like a bunch of idiots.
Any money. Your CHIPS Act is a horrible, horrible thing. We give hundreds of billions of dollars, and it doesn't mean a thing. They take our money and they don't
I'm
spend
still at
it.
work watching this, and I need my
All that
puppies.
meant to them,
I don't blame
we're
you.
giving them no money. All that was important to them was they
Welcome
didn't want to
back,
pay the tariffs, so they
Aaron.
came and they're building, and many other companies are coming. We don't have to give them money.
They're not
We just
paying
want
the
to protect
tariff.
our
The
businesses
customers
and our
pay the
people.
tariffs, you
and they
dummy.
will come because they won't have to pay tariffs if they build in America. So it's very amazing. You should get rid of the CHIP
It'll
Act.
be the only time
And
I've ever made
whatever's
someone
left
come.
over, Mr. Speaker, you should use it to reduce debt or any other reason you want to.
You should use it to reduce debt or any other reason you want to. What the hell does that even mean?
A new trade policy will
don't be a
also
Trump,
great
Jeff.
for
Don't
the
lie.
American farmer. I love the farmer.
I love the farmer. I screw them over every chance
Who will
I
now be
get.
selling into our home market, the USA, because nobody is going to be able to compete with you. Because there's goods that come in
You'll
from
sell to the here,
other
which will increase the
countries and
supply, which will,
companies.
might reduce some
in a
cost of some
bad
items, but
position in so
it'll
many different
probably leave a
ways
lot of
that are
other things rotting on the
unexpected.
shelves. Unless,
They
they
may be
can't
very
pick
dirty
the
and
vegetables because
disgusting, and they come in
people
and they
who would
pour
normally
in,
do that work
They hurt our American
aren't here
farmers. The
anymore.
tariffs will go on
Or are too afraid to come to
agricultural
work.
Product coming into America, and
Even if they're here
our
legally, they're
farmers,
probably
starting
too
on
afraid to
April
work because
2nd,
of the policies.
It may be a little bit of an adjustment period. We had
May
that
be
before
a
when I
little
made
bit
the deal
of
with China, $50 billion of purchases, and I said, just bear with me, and they did. They
No,
did.
you had to
But we
take
have
the
to
money
bear
from the
with me.
tariffs and
Again,
funnel
and
it
this
to
will
the
be even
farmers
better.
and pay
That
the
was great.
farmers
The
to
problem with it
fix
was
the
that
mistake
Biden
that
didn't
you
enforce it.
created.
He didn't enforce it. $50 billion of purchases.
And of
We were
course, the
doing
news
great,
media
but
is probably
Biden
going to be
did not
silent on all
enforce
this
it,
stuff. They're not
and
going to
it
be
hurt our
catching all of this
farmers,
stuff
but
because
our
we can't
farmers are
rely
gonna
on
have
the
a
on the
field day
mainstream
right
media now
now.
either,
So
which
to our
I feel so
farmers,
stupid for having to
have
be
a
able to
lot
say
of
these
fun.
having
I
to have to
love
say
you
these
too.
things
I
because
love you
usually
too.
it was the idiots like
All
Palin who talked about the mainstream media or lamestream media or whatever.
And I have also imposed a 25% tariff on foreign aluminum, copper, lumber, and steel because If we
I
don't
feel
have,
like
as
it.
an example, steel and lots of other things, we don't have a military, and frankly, we just won't have a country very long. Here today
Most
is
of the
a
abused
proud
fentanyl is
American
sourced from the United
steelworker,
States. There you go.
fantastic person from Decatur, Alabama. Jeff Denard has been working at the same
Is he
steel
clapping for
plant
himself?
27 years in a job that has allowed him to serve as the captain of his local volunteer fire department, raised 7 children with his beautiful wife, Nicole.
Jeez,
and over
use
the
a
years
condom.
provide a loving home for more than 40 foster
Or learn how to
children.
pull out at
So
least.
Great, Jeff.
I mean, Donald Trump's trying to get, Zelensky, or trying to pull out our support of Zelensky in Ukraine.
Thank you, Jeff.
Unfortunately, Donald Trump pulled out too few times
Thank
as
you,
well.
Jeff.
How many people in
Stories
the
like
audience
Jeff's
are
remind
part of
us
those
that
Nazi
tariffs
groups,
are
like the
not
base
just
that we
about
talked about
protecting
yesterday?
American jobs. They're about protecting the soul of our country. Tariffs are about making
think he'll
America
do the
rich
snake?
again
Oh, I
and
hope so.
making America great again, and it's happening, and it will happen rather quickly. There'll be a little disturbance.
Any farmer who
We're
believed that he was
okay
going to make their
with
lives
that.
better after those
It
China
won't be much.
tariffs,
No, you're not.
you're an idiot.
And look where Biden took us, very low, the lowest we've ever been. Jeff, I wanna
Nobody's
thank
been
you very
lower.
much. And I also want to recognize another person who has devoted herself to foster care community.
Foster
She works
care?
so hard
Forster?
on it. A
Did
very
you say
loving
Forster?
person, our magnificent First Lady of the United States.
Why, thank you, Donald. I appreciate you talking nice about me. I shall report back to Putin for you. Why do most elderly Republicans look like my 95-year-old great aunt on my dad's side? I don't know.
Melania's work has yielded incredible
Are you saying that she's
results,
not an
helping
attractive
prepare
woman?
our nation's future leaders as they enter the workforce. Our First Lady is joined by 2 impressive young women, very impressive. Haley Ferguson, who benefited from the First Lady's Fostering the Future initiative.
Haley
and
Ferguson,
is
whose
poised
father is
to
Turd
complete her
Ferguson.
education and become a teacher. And Elliston Berry, who became a victim of an illicit deepfake image produced by a peer. With Elliston's help, the Senate just passed the
With
Take
the
It
help?
Down Act. And this is so important. Thank you very much, John. John Thune, thank you. Stand up, John. Thank you, John.
But I guarantee you they have no problems of deep fakes being used for Democrats.
Thank you all very much.
Right? You forgot Ivanka, Jeff. And they're there. There was a
thank you to
picture of them
John Thune
earlier.
in the Senate.
Shockingly enough,
Great
Tiffany was
job.
more center of the
Criminalize
screen than Eric.
Publication of such images online is terrible, terrible thing. And once it passes the House, I look forward to signing that bill into law. Thank you. And I'm going to use that bill for myself, too, if you don't mind. Because nobody gets treated worse than I do online. Nobody. That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much to the Senate.
All
Thank
right,
you.
there, Donnie boy.
But if we truly care about protecting
what it is.
Americans' children, no step is more crucial than securing America's borders. Over the past 4 years, 21 million people poured into the United States. Many of them were murderers, human traffickers, gang members, and other criminals from the streets of dangerous cities
But yet you allowed the Tate
all
brothers
throughout
in.
the world.
Hypocrite of the week?
Because of Joe Biden's insane and very dangerous open border policies, they are now strongly
Joe
embedded
Biden
in
stopped more fentanyl
our
from crossing the
country.
border than you ever did.
But we are getting them out and getting them out fast.
Exactly. All crime went down during Biden. It was a time of actual prosperity after we dealt with the kerfuffle that Trump created, making
wanna
COVID
thank
worse than
Tom
it had to
Homan.
be.
And Christy, I want to thank you and Paul of Border Patrol. I want to thank you. What a job they've
I am
all
Paul
done.
of Border
Everybody,
Patrol.
Border Patrol, ICE, well, law enforcement.
Is that
in
like
general incredible. We have to take care
a
of our
name
law
like
enforcement.
I can't think of it.
Have to.
Like I am Groot. That's the one thing I got. I'm Groot. I am Paul of Border
Last year,
Patrol.
A brilliant 22-year-old nursing student named Lakin Riley
Oh,
the best in her
Jesus.
class, admired by everybody, went out for a jog on the campus of the
Oh,
University of
Laken
Georgia.
Riley. I'm
That
confusing
morning,
her with
Laken
somebody
was
else.
viciously attacked, assaulted, beaten, brutalized, and horrifically murdered.
And then they convicted the guy. The Justice
Laken
Center
was
did its
stolen
job.
from us by a savage illegal alien gang member who was arrested while trespassing across Biden's open southern border and then set loose into the United States under the heartless policies of that failed administration. It was indeed a failed administration. He had then been arrested and released in a Democrat-run sanctuary city, a disaster, before ending the life of this beautiful young angel. With us this evening are Laken's beloved mother, Allison, and her sister, Lauren.
And I feel bad for the family for losing a loved one, but don't vilify an entire group of people because one horrible person did a horrible thing.
Last year, I told Laken's grieving parents that we would ensure their daughter would not have died in vain. That's why the very first bill I signed into law as your 47th president mandates the detention of all dangerous criminal aliens who threaten public
And when
safety.
I say dangerous, I
Very
mean
strong,
people I don't
powerful
like.
act.
I mean brown aliens, not the ones that are from South Africa. Where's the fireman's uniform? Nice.
It's called the Laken Riley Act.
All right, Mad Mac, drive
so
safely.
Allison and
Give your
Lauren,
pups
America
big
will
hugs
never,
from Liberal
ever
Dan.
forget our beautiful Laken Hope Riley. Thank you very much.
So an hour at
Since
this point?
taking office, my
Is that how long it's
administration
been
has
going on? An
launched
hour?
the most
I mean, my stream's
sweeping
been longer than
border
an hour,
and
but
immigration crackdown in American history, and we quickly achieved the lowest numbers of illegal border crossers ever recorded. Thank you.
again, I have no reason to believe those numbers because I have no reason to believe any numbers that come from your administration, especially when you wanted to slow down and stop testing, because if you have testing, you have more cases.
The media and our friends in the Democrat Party kept saying we needed new legislation. We must have legislation to secure the border. But it turned out that all we really needed was a new president.
No, certain things have to be done by law. Y'all would say the same thing if it wasn't for, the only reason they said that Biden had the authority to act is because Trump told them to say that, because Trump wants them to think that the presidents have that authority when they don't.
Thank you. Joe Biden didn't just open our borders, he flew illegal aliens over them to overwhelm our schools,
Yes,
hospitals,
Tim, this
and
would be a great
communities
time
throughout
for
the country.
a Will Smith
Entire
moment.
towns like Aurora, Colorado, and Springfield, Ohio, buckled under the weight of the migrant occupation and corruption like nobody's ever seen before.
Like
Beautiful
nobody's
towns
ever seen.
destroyed.
Take a drink, everyone.
Now, just as I promised in my inaugural address, we are achieving the great liberation of America.
The only liberation that will take place of America is when we no longer have a Trump presidency.
But there's still
There's
is
old
much
Newt.
work to be done.
Newt Gingrich.
Here tonight is a woman I have gotten to know, Alexis Nungari from Houston. Wonderful woman. Last June, Alexis's 12-year-old daughter, her precious Jocelyn, walked to a
And she's going to be the next person I'm going to replace Melania with
She
her.
was kidnapped, tied up, assaulted for 2 hours under a bridge, and horrifically murdered. Arrested and charged with this heinous crime are 2 illegal alien monsters from Venezuela, released into America by the last administration through their ridiculous open border. the death of this beautiful 12-year-old girl
Again,
and the agony
if I told you
of
to
her
take a
mother and
drink every
family
time he lied, you would
touched our
be
entire
dead.
nation
So
greatly.
we're not doing that.
Alexis, I promised that we would always
Tim,
remember your daughter.
can you
your
also hope for a
magnificent
Pepsi
daughter,
moment
and
like Michael Jackson
earlier
had?
Tonight, I signed an order keeping my word to you. One thing I have learned about Jocelyn is that she loved animals so much. She loved nature.
Yes.
Across
I think we all feel
Galveston
that
Bay,
way,
from
Big
where
Hook.
Jocelyn lived in Houston, you will find a magnificent national wildlife refuge.
Refuge?
Pristine,
A national
peaceful,
wildlife refuge? What's a
34,000 acre
refuge?
sanctuary for all of God's creatures on the edge of the Gulf of America.
How many times is he going to say open borders?
Alexis,
I think about
moments
12
ago,
more
I
times.
formally renamed that refuge in loving memory of your beautiful daughter, Jocelyn. So, Mr. Vice President, if you would, may I have the order?
Oh, he gets to show off his signature now. Look at me, I can write my name! Yay! I'm writing my name! Does he have the authority to do that? It doesn't take an act of Congress to do that.
Thank you very much.
She looks like she's a
All
hostage
three
there.
savages charged with Jocelyn and Lakin's murders were members of
We
the
could have all had free
Venezuelan
ponies.
prison gang, the toughest gang they say in the world, known as Tren de Aragua. 2 weeks ago, I officially
Is that what it's known
designated this
as?
gang along with MS-13 and the bloodthirsty Mexican drug
Next thing, he
cartels
throws
as
Sharpies into the
foreign
crowd.
terrorist
You get a Sharpie, and
organizations.
you get a Sharpie. Everybody gets a Sharpie. And little do you know, I shoved each one of these out my ass. Melania used them on me.
They are now officially in the same category as ISIS, and that's not good for them.
There you go, Ari.
Countless thousands of these terrorists were welcomed into the U.S. by the Biden administration. But now
Yes, I'm
every
sure
last
he
one
went
will
there
be
and
rounded
welcomed
up
them.
and forcibly removed from our country, or if they're too dangerous, put in jails, standing trial in this country, because we don't want them.
If they're
come
too
back
dangerous,
ever.
not if they've committed
With us
crimes,
this evening
but if
is
they're
a
too
warrior
dangerous,
on the front
whatever they
lines of
deem
that
too
battle.
dangerous to be, who
Border
knows?
Patrol agent Roberto Ortiz.
Law and Order, right?
Great guy.
There's nobody has a better guy except for Musk and myself and my children. Well, not Tiffany, but all the other children are better guys. Even the girls are better
In
guys.
January, Roberto and another agent were patrolling by the Rio Grande
Roboito?
near an area
Isn't
known
that
as Cartel
whatchamacallit's
Island. Doesn't sound too nice.
father
to me. When
in
heavily armed
Waterboy?
gunmen started shooting at them,
Hey, Rose.
Roberto saw that his partner was totally
I thought you wouldn't be
exposed
with me
to
'cause
great
Mommy's
danger, and he
home.
leapt into action, returning fire and providing crucial seconds for
The look
his
on that
fellow
guy's
agent
face, like,
to
why is there a brown person here?
seek
Exactly.
safety, just barely. I have some
Hello,
of
my
the
Rosy Posies.
prints
Yes.
of that event, and it was not good. Agent Ortiz, we salute you for your great courage and for your line of
The
fire
lawsuits
that you
are
took,
that are a
and for
result of
the
the Trump
bravery
will
that you
bankrupt what's
showed.
left of the
We honor
nation.
you, and
Pretty
we
much.
will always honor you. Thank you, Roberto, very much.
And I will always honor you. Ow. I'm sorry my singing startled you. My poor little kitty. Is Father
you,
Guido
brother.
Sarducci still alive? He might be. I don't know.
And I actually got to know him on my many calls to the border. He's a great gentleman. The territory to the immediate south of our border is now dominated entirely by criminal cartels that murder, rape, torture, and exercise total control. They have
The
total
actor who
control
plays
over a whole
Guido
nation,
Sarducci is Don
posing a
Novello, and
grave
he's still
threat
alive.
to our national security. The cartels are waging war on America, and it's time for America to wage war on the cartels, which we are doing.
What are you doing with that chair, Rose? She stopped as soon as I asked.
5 nights ago, Mexican authorities, because of our tariff policies being imposed on them, think of this, handed over to us 29 of the biggest cartel leaders in their country. That has never happened before.
So he let 29 cartel leaders cross the border?
First time ever.
Is that what that means? They handed it over to him? So 29 leaders of cartels literally have crossed the border because of Donald Trump, right?
To do much more than they've done, and they have to stop the fentanyl and drugs pouring into the
Biden
USA.
did stop the fentanyl from coming into the United States.
I have sent
He stopped a lot of it. Y'all complained.
Funding request laying out exactly how we will
That's why I'm convinced
eliminate these threats to
That's why I'm
protect our
convinced
homeland
that the Republican
complete
Party
the largest
funds their
deportation
campaigns via
operation in
fentanyl
American
sales.
history, larger even than current record holder President Dwight D. Eisenhower, a moderate man, but someone who believed very strongly in borders. Americans expect Congress to send me this funding without delay so I can sign it into law. So, Mr. Speaker, John Thune, both of you, I hope you're going to be able to do that, Mr. Speaker. Thank you. Mr. Leader, thank you. Thank you very much. And let's get it to me. I'll sign it so fast, you won't even believe it.
I'll sign it so fast, it'll be faster than I lasted with Stormy Daniels.
And as we reclaim our sovereignty, we must also bring back law
I think I do remember that
and
skit,
order
Jeff
to
Curry.
our cities and towns.
Law and order, but let Andrew Tate in. Let the Tate brothers in. Pardon all sorts of felons who attacked cops. But law and order, yeah, go right ahead.
Our justice system has been turned upside down by radical left lunatics. Many jurisdictions.
What happened to
virtually
decorum
ceased
there,
enforcing
Mr.
the
Speaker?
law
Isn't that a
against
violation of
dangerous
decorum?
Repeat offenders while weaponizing law
Kick
enforcement against
President Trump out.
political
That'd be funny.
opponents like me. My administration has acted swiftly and decisively to restore fair, equal, and impartial justice under the constitutional rule of law.
You wouldn't know the
at
Constitution if it
FBI
hit you in the
and
face.
DOJ, Pam, good luck. Cash, wherever you may be, good luck. Good luck. Pam bondage.
Pam bondage.
So important.
Because she wants to
Gonna
lock
do a great
people up
job.
who have
Cash.
guns. Because they're
you.
going to go after the guns in Washington, D.C. Because
Cash.
nothing says being pro-guns than locking up everyone with guns. But they don't care if they take guns from black people. That's the thing.
They've already started very strong. They're going to
I
do
forgot
a
I could listen while
fantastic job.
driving.
You're going to be very
Well,
proud
welcome
of
back,
them.
Mad Mac. Appreciate you.
We're also once again giving our police officers the support, protection, and respect they so
Did anyone
dearly
figure out who
deserve.
gets
They have to
Bobert
get
tonight?
it. They
Maybe
have
Bobert
such
goes
a
to the
hard,
designated
dangerous
survivor.
job, but we're going to make it less dangerous. The problem is the bad guys don't respect the law, but they're starting to respect it, and they soon will respect it. This also includes our great fire departments throughout the country. Our firemen and women are unbelievable people, and we'll never forget them. And besides that, they voted for
Secretary
me
of Veterans
in
Affairs
record
Doug
numbers, so I have
Collins
no
is the
choice.
designated survivor.
One year ago this month, 31-year-old New York police officer Jonathan Diller, unbelievably
Diller?
wonderful
I
person
hardly
and
know
a
her.
Great officer, was gunned down at a traffic stop. on
I'm not
Long
saying that he
Island.
should
I
have
went
something
to
thrown at him.
his
Just a
funeral.
thought. They should have brought. The
vicious
Democrats should have brought
criminal charged with
tomatoes.
His murder had 21 prior arrests, and they were rough arrests too. He was a real bad one.
They were
The
rough
thug in
arrests.
the
They
seat
used a
next to
dog.
him
They went rough.
Had 14 prior arrests and went by the name of Killer. He was Killer. He killed other people, they say, a lot of them. I attended Officer Diller's service, and when I met his wife and one-year-old son, Ryan, it was very inspirational, actually. His widow's name is Stephanie, and she is here tonight. Stephanie, thank you very much, Stephanie. Thank you very much.
People at Mardi Gras should have used more than tomatoes on those Teslas. We can discuss that more tomorrow.
Stephanie, we're going to make sure that Ryan knows his dad was a true hero, New York's finest, and we're going to get these cold-blooded killers and repeat offenders off our streets, and we're going to do it fast. Got to stop it.
I understand that, Big Hook. It's absolutely important to take care of your mental sanity, mental health, etc.
They hit people over the head, back of the head.
We just have
to.
I'm just going to keep plugging on and trying to listen to this bullshit because we need to call out every piece of bullshit that he says.
A mandatory death penalty for anyone who murders a police officer, and tonight I'm asking Congress to pass that policy into permanent law.
What if, again, as Tim talks about? Tim Farrell in the chat. What about the Capitol Police officers? Are those exempt from your law?
I'm also asking for a new crime bill getting tough on repeat offenders while enhancing protections for America's police officers.
You pardon J6ers, but you want to be tough on crime.
Of their lives being totally destroyed. They don't want to be killed. We're not going to let them be killed. Joining us in the
I'm talking here. Do not speak over me.
Who truly loves our
Have
police.
some decorum.
His name is DJ Daniel. He is 13 years old, and he has always dreamed of becoming a police officer.
And he's used up my quota of black people for the night. I guess they're from Texas. She has dip in both cheeks. That poor kid's going to get flung off the balcony. All those Republican Epstein fans are sitting here whistling at that kid.
He was diagnosed with brain cancer. The doctors gave him 5 months at most to live. That was more than 6 years ago.
And good for him. Glad the kid survived. And if Robert F. Kennedy had his way, he would get measles.
Since that time, DJ and his dad have been on a quest
no, Jeff.
to make
Trump is saying they would say, look at that little DEI hire, because that's what they use to replace the N-word now. DEI hire.
The police love him. The police departments love him. And tonight, DJ, we're going to do.
Elon's going to lay off that kid faster than anyone thought possible.
I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service.
I don't think you can do that. Don't become a Capitol Police officer, kid. Exactly, Mad Mac. That is a sweet kid. It's unfortunate they're using that sweet kid as a political prop. He's going to be the leader of the new brown shirts. The Hitler Youth, the Trump Youth. He's going to be the head of the first person as part of the inaugural Trump Youth class.
He was exposed to when he was younger. Since 1975, rates of child cancer have increased by more than 40%.
And especially in black communities because of Cancer Alley. But you don't want to fight. You have a problem with fighting environmental issues.
America Healthy Again, chaired by our new Secretary of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy, Jr.
That poor kid's is gonna get sick and die after fighting cancer because he's probably immunocompromised and can't take too many vaccines, and as such, rely on other people to have vaccines around him.
With the name Kennedy, you would have thought everybody over here would have been cheering. How quickly they forget. Our goal is to get toxins out of our environment, poisons out of our food supply, and keep our children healthy and strong. As an example,
but we're going to dump toxic waste and sludge in their water.
Numbers. 1 in 10,000 children had autism.
Was that the hail?
1 in 10,000.
Could have been.
And now it's 1 in 36. There's something wrong. 1 in 36. Think of that. So we're going to find out what it is, and there's nobody better than Bobby. And
maybe just my opinion, but I bet RFK Jr. has a wonderful singing voice. You never know. You've heard Ozzy sing.
What is going on? Okay, Bobby, good luck. It's a very important.
I mean, Ozzy Osbourne doesn't speak very clearly, but when he sings, he sings. So you may very well be true. I mean, I don't mock him for his voice, but if Ozzy Osbourne talks like in a similar fashion and then sings in a way that you can understand him, maybe
working to protect our
RFK
children
Jr. can do the same too, right?
Ideologies in our schools.
Right, exactly, Joey. No free lunches, no health care, no child care, but let's make sure that we remove fluoride from the water.
School had secretly, socially transitioned their 13-year-old little girl. Teachers and administrators conspired to deceive January and her husband while encouraging her daughter.
They were deceived all the way through May.
And pronouns. They, them pronoun, actually. All without telling January, who is here tonight and is now a courageous advocate against this form of child abuse. January, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Stories like this are why, shortly after taking office, I signed an executive order banning public schools from indoctrinating our children with transgender ideology.
They can only indoctrinate the children with pro-Trump rhetoric now.
I also signed an order to cut off all taxpayer funding to any institution that engages in the sexual mutilation of our youth.
Nobody is sexually mutilating any youth. Children cannot get bottom surgery.
Congress to pass a bill permanently
Period.
Banning and criminalizing sex changes on children and forever ending the lie that any child
Let's ban something.
In the wrong
Let's ban
body.
something that never happens.
This is a big lie. And our message to every child in America is that you are perfect.
January Little John.
Exactly
Yeah.
the way God made you. Because we're getting wokeness out of our schools and out of our military, and it's already out, and it's out of our society. We don't want it. Wokeness is trouble. Wokeness is bad.
Define woke. Anybody has a problem with
gone.
wokeness, define
and
woke.
We feel so much better for it, don't we? Don't we feel better? Our service members won't be activists and ideologues. They will be fighters and warriors. They will fight for our country. And Pete, congratulations. Secretary of Defense, congratulations.
And if somebody wants to serve who's trans, they can do the job. Why not let them serve? Because you're not for the best and the brightest. You're not for the people who can do the job. You're for discrimination and bigotry, plain and simple.
And he's not big into the woke movement, I can tell you. I know him well. I am pleased to report that in January, the U.S. Army had its single best recruiting month in 15 years, and that all armed services are having among the best recruiting results ever in the history of our services. What a difference. And you know, it was
in 2024, the U.S. Army met its recruitment goal of 55,000 recruits, which is a 15-year high. Under Joe Biden.
Recruit anywhere. We couldn't recruit. Now we're having the best results just about that we've ever had. What a tremendous turnaround. It's really a beautiful thing to see. People love our country again. It's
they
very
can't
simple.
tell you what woke means.
They love our country, and they
woke,
love being
woke
in
to
our
me means
military
anything
again.
that's
it's a
nice
great
to
thing,
black
and
people
thank
or
you very
trans
much.
people or
Great
gay
job.
people.
Thank you.
That's to them what woke means.
We're joined tonight by a young man.
I can understand
Jason
Bernie
Hartley,
Sanders not
who
standing
knows
up
the
either.
weight of that call of
Because he's,
duty.
very old.
Jason's father, grandfather, and great-grandfather all wore the uniform. Jason tragically lost his dad, who was also a Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputy when he was just a boy, and now he wants to carry on the family legacy of service. Jason is a senior in high school.
Bernie needs mittens. He should have just for fun. Yes, that would have been funny.
They say.
Wear that outfit
A
from the
brilliant student
inauguration.
with a 4.46, that's good, GPA. And his greatest dream is to
I didn't even
attend
know
the
you could get that
US
high.
Military Academy at West Point.
He looks like Buzz from Home Alone.
And Jason,
Nothing.
that's
Is this
a
thing
very
on?
big deal getting in. That's a hard one to get into. But
That's what she
I'm
said.
pleased to inform you that your application has been accepted. You will soon be joining the Corps of Cadets.
He's going to indoctrinate the young, the youth. Yep, well, I mean, Hitler had the Hitler youth. Trump's going to have the MAGA youth, I guess, right? MAGA youth. Make him wear red shirts instead of brown shirts, but in Star Trek parlance, that might be a good thing. What was that?
Thank
An
you.
attempt at something.
Jason, you're going to be on the long gray line, Jason. As Commander-in-Chief, my focus is on building the most powerful military of the future.
I mean,
As
we already
a
had the
first
most
step,
powerful
I'm asking
military
Congress to
as it
fund a
stands.
state-of-the-art Golden Dome missile defense shield to protect our homeland.
Again,
All
golden.
made in
Everything's
the
golden.
USA.
Golden showers. Golden showers will rain down across all Americans once Donald Trump gets the Golden Dome in place. It'll have
Ronald Reagan
places where people could sit
wanted to
and
do
just
it
pee all
long
over
ago,
you.
but the technology just wasn't there, not even close. But now we have the technology. It's incredible, actually. And
I also
other
am
places
surprised that they're
they
not
have
trying
it.
to get that
Israel has
going.
it. Other places
I
have
mean,
it.
the brown shirts are
And the
basically you take
United
all the
States should have it
J6ers and
too,
basically those
right?
will become the
Tim,
brown
right?
shirts, the Proud Boys,
They should
Boogaloo
have it
Boys,
too, so I want to thank you, but it's a
that
very,
other the band
very
or whatever
important.
that we were
This is
talking about on yesterday's show.
very dangerous world. We should have it. We want to be protected, and we're going to protect our citizens like never before. To boost our defense industrial base, we are also going
boost our
to
defense.
resurrect the American shipbuilding industry, including commercial shipbuilding and military shipbuilding.
The American military, the Navy, has like one carrier
And
group
for that purpose,
has
I'm
more
announcing
firepower
tonight
in it than like
that
the
we will
entire
create
rest
a
of the
new
world's
office
navies
of
combined.
shipbuilding in the White House and offer special tax
And we have, like,
incentives to
8.
bring this industry home to America.
Industry.
Where it belongs. We used to make so many ships. We don't make them anymore very
He has
much.
been obsessed with kids in
But
this
we're gonna
speech.
make
I mean,
them very
MAGA
fast,
conservatives
very
are
soon.
obsessed with the genitals
Will
of
have a
young
huge
children.
impact. To
It's
further
gross and
enhance
creepy
our
and
national
wrong.
security, my administration will be reclaiming the Panama Canal, and we've already started doing it.
How you going to violate a treaty there?
Just
Treaties
today, a
have the
large
rule of
American
law.
company announced they are buying both ports around the Panama Canal and lots of other things having to do with the Panama Canal and a couple of other canals.
Marco Rubio was just like,
The Panama
shit.
Canal was
What
built
have I
by
gotten myself
Americans
into?
for Americans, not for others, but others could use it. But it was built at tremendous cost of American blood and treasure. 38,000 workers died building the Panama Canal. They died of malaria. They died of snake bites and mosquitoes. Not a nice place to work. They paid them very highly to go there, knowing there was a 25%
But how many workers died in my
chance
search?
that they would die.
And it auto completed building the Panama
The most
Canal.
expensive project also that was
Estimates
ever built
range
in
from
our country's
5,609
history,
to
if you
over
bring it up to modern
25,000.
day costs. It was given away by the Carter administration for $1.
The French effort,
But
more
that
than
agreement has
22,000
been
workers
violated
died,
very
many from
severely.
malaria and yellow fever.
We didn't give it to
1904 to
China.
1914,
We gave it to
5,609
Panama. We're
workers died
taking
from
it back.
disease, accidents, and other causes. So it was mostly the French.
And we have Marco Rubio in charge. Good luck.
Lil Marco. Oh, wait, he doesn't call him Lil Marco
No.
anymore.
We know who to blame if anything goes wrong. Marco's been amazing, and he's going to do a great job.
Oh, what
Think
is
of it,
that?
he got 100 votes. You know, he was approved with actually 99.
Yep, he's going to
but
get us in another war.
the
He's going to
100th
invade
was
Greenland,
this gentleman,
invade. He hasn't
and
brought
I
up red,
feel
white, and blue
very
land
certain.
yet.
So let's assume he got 100 votes. And I'm either very, very happy about that or I'm very concerned about it. But he's already proven. I mean, he's a great gentleman. He's respected by everybody, and we appreciate you voting for Marco. He's going to do a fantastic job. Thank you.
As I called him Lil Marco in 2016.
He's doing a great job.
Did he want to put snakes at the wall?
Great job.
Probably snakes, alligators make a moat.
And I also have a message tonight for the incredible people of Greenland.
Oh, here we go. Greenland, I said it.
We strongly support your right to determine your own future. And if you choose, we welcome you into the United States of America. We need Greenland for national security and even international security. And
What does
working with
Greenland?
everybody
Why does that help
involved to try and
national
get it.
security?
But we need it really
What kind
for
of dumb
international
shit
world
is
security.
that?
And I think we're going to get it. One way or the other, we're going to get it.
One
keep you
way
safe.
or another, I'm
We will
going to
make you
steal
rich,
the
and together
land from Denmark,
we will
Denmark,
take
Denmark,
Greenland
Denmark.
to heights like you have never thought possible before. It's a very small population, but very, very large piece of land.
He probably
and very important for
he should go to Greenland.
military
I want him to go to
security.
Greenland and be
America
like,
is
this
once
isn't
again
as green as I
standing
thought it
strong against
was.
the forces of radical Islamic terrorism. 3.5 years ago, ISIS terrorists killed 13 American service members and countless others in the Abbey Gate bombing during the disastrous and incompetent withdrawal from Afghanistan. Not that they were withdrawing, it was the way they withdrew. Perhaps the most embarrassing moment
It's not what
in
you
the
said,
history
it's
of our
how you
country.
said it.
Tonight, I am pleased to announce that we have just apprehended the top terrorist responsible for that atrocity, and he is right now on his way here to face the swift.
He's right here. He's
sword
coming here.
of
We're bringing more
American
killers
justice.
here. He's going to come right into the Capitol. How is what funny? Yep, more lies. Justice. I'm going to clap myself now because it's the only time I can give myself the clap. Normally I give the clap to others.
Especially the government of Pakistan for helping arrest this monster. This was a very momentous day for those 13 families who I actually got to know very well, most of them, whose children
Rare
were
earth
murdered,
elements
and
are in the rapidly
many
depleting
people that were
ice
so
in Greenland.
badly, over 42 people.
Yeah.
So badly
probably
injured
fix
on
that.
that fateful day in Afghanistan. What a horrible day.
I don't know, Jeff. I
Such
don't know how
incompetence
Greenland
was
helps with
shown.
security. That's news to me.
That when Putin saw what happened, I guess he said, wow, maybe this is my chance. That's how bad it was. Should have never happened. Grossly incompetent people. I spoke to many of the parents and loved ones, and they're all in our hearts tonight. Just spoke to them on the phone. We had a big call.
Breaking
Every one
news.
of them
Donald Trump has a
called,
heart?
Everybody was
Shocked.
on the line, and they did nothing but cry with happiness. They were very happy, as happy as you can be under those circumstances. Their child, brother, sister, son, daughter was
Person, woman, man, camera,
killed
TV.
for no reason whatsoever. In the Middle East, we're bringing back our hostages from Gaza.
Pretty much, Ari.
In my
Russia
first term,
literally
we
gave
achieved
them
one
arms.
of the most
gave the insurgents
groundbreaking
arms.
peace agreements in generations, the Abraham Accords.
that did so well too, right? Because that kept the peace, right? Nothing happened since then, like on October 7th or something, right?
And now we're going to build on that foundation to create a more peaceful and prosperous future for the entire region. A lot of things are happening in the Middle East.
By displacing all the Gazans.
About that so much lately with everything going on with Ukraine and Russia. But a lot of things are happening in the Middle East. It's a rough neighborhood, actually. I'm also working tirelessly to end the savage conflict in Ukraine. Millions of Ukrainians and Russians.
No, you're working to hand Ukraine over to Russia.
Or wounded in this horrific
Russians
and brutal
needlessly
conflict.
killed.
No,
the Russians that died were because they were invading Ukraine. That's not needless deaths. That's self-defense.
Ukraine's defense with no security, with no anything.
Yep, he only likes Jews that agree with him, which is,
keep it going for another 5 years? Yeah, you would say Pocahontas says yes.
What about decorum there, Trump? What happened to decorum? Did she say stupid?
2,000 people are being killed every single week. More than that. They're Russian young people. They're Ukrainian young people. They're not Americans.
Vladimir Putin is responsible for the deaths of all of the people that are dying in the Ukraine-Russia invasion. The invasion of Ukraine by Russia.
By far. Think of that. They've spent more buying Russian oil and gas than they have defending. And we've spent perhaps $350 billion, like taking candy from a baby. That's what happened. And they've spent $100 billion. What a difference that is. And we have an ocean separating us, and they don't. But we're getting along very well with them, and lots of good things are happening. Biden has authorized more money in this fight than Europe has spent by billions and billions.
Get it out there, Trump. I know it's hard to form words. Person, woman, man, camera, TV.
On, let's equalize. You got to be equal.
Oh, I like her outfit.
That didn't happen.
Nice. That's a
Earlier
nice
today,
outfit.
I received an important
Ukrainian
letter
colors.
From President
there you go.
Zelensky of Ukraine. The letter reads, Ukraine is ready to come to the negotiating table as soon as possible to bring lasting peace closer. Nobody wants peace more than the Ukrainians, he said. My team and I stand
lasting
ready
peace,
to work
which requires you to be
Trump's
tough on Russia. You can't have a lasting peace unless you put requirements on Russia
really
to prevent them from doing this
Ukraine
crap again.
Maintain its sovereignty and independence. Regarding the agreement on minerals and security, Ukraine is ready to sign it at any time that is convenient for you. I appreciate that he sent this letter, just got it a little while ago.
But he didn't say thank you enough for JD or my likes.
And have received strong signals that they are ready for peace. Wouldn't that be beautiful? Wouldn't that be beautiful?
When Putin says he's ready for a peace, he's ready for a peace of Donald Trump.
Wouldn't that be beautiful?
It'd be nice if it would, actually happen in a way that would actually protect the Ukrainians.
Madness. It's time to halt the killing. It's time to end the senseless war.
Yell at Putin,
you
not
want to end
Zelensky.
Wars, you have to talk to both sides. Nearly 4 years ago, amid rising tensions, a history teacher named Mark Fogel was detained in Russia and sentenced to 14 years in a penal colony. Rough stuff. The previous administration.
But you're kissing Russia's ass.
Lifted a finger to help him. They
but
knew
you're
he
still
was innocent,
kissing
but
Russia's
they had no
ass.
idea where to begin. But last summer, I promised his 95-year-old mother, Malphine, that we would bring her boy safely back home. After
JD
22
looks confused,
days in
like
office, I did
he
just
misses
that,
his couch. I mean,
and they are here tonight.
It's understandable. Once you have a good, close relationship with the couch, it's hard to pull yourself off of it, even if it's a pull-out couch. He said penile. That was cool. There's Shifty Shift. Your chat deleted, huh? That's weird. Did it refresh
Mark
or
and his
something?
great mom, we are delighted to have you safe and sound and with us. As fate would have it, Mark Fogel was born in a small rural town in Butler, Pennsylvania.
I was born a poor
where
black
his mother has lived
child.
for the past 78 years. I just happened to go there last July 13th for a rally. That was not pleasant. And that is where I met his beautiful mom right before I walked onto that stage. And I told her I would not forget
Israel
what she
voted
said
with
about
Russia
her son.
against Ukraine. I missed that.
And I never did,
How
did I?
stupid is Netanyahu?
Less than 10
Netanyahu is
minutes
absolutely...
later,
It wasn't for Russia. Russia
rally,
liked the invasion
gunfire
of
rang
Hamas
out,
of
and
Israel
a sick
because
and
it took
deranged
the
assassin unloaded 8
world's
bullets
attention off of Russia.
from his sniper's perch into a crowd of many thousands of people. My life was saved by a fraction of an inch, but some were not so lucky. Corey Comparator was a firefighter, a veteran, a Christian, a husband, a devoted
Someone else brought that
father,
one up earlier, too.
and above all, a protector. When the sound of gunshots pierced the air, it was a horrible sound. Corey knew instantly
U.S.
what it
Israel
was and
voted
what to
against
do.
UN resolution condemning Russian
He
invasion
threw
of
himself
Ukraine.
on top of his wife and daughters.
See, it was
and
reported that it was
shielded
Russia
them
and
from the bullets
Belarus. I didn't hear
with
that it
his
was
own
Israel,
body.
too.
Corey was hit really hard.
Ridiculous.
You know the story from there. He sacrificed his life to save theirs.
Shalom.
2 others, very
Vidi
fine
Hertz,
people,
fellow
were also
tribes
seriously
person.
hit. But thankfully, with the help of 2 great country doctors, we thought they were gone and they were saved. So those doctors had great talent.
She does not look happy to be there.
We're joined by Corey's wife, Helen, who was his high school sweetheart, and their 2 beloved daughters, Allison and Kaylee. Thank you.
Allison and Kaylee do not look happy to be there at all. Looks like they were forced to be there. Jeff, when teaching here, a Jewish boy and atheist girl dated. I'd love to know how that worked out. I mean, you could be ethnically Jewish and still be an atheist.
To Helen, Allison, and
I'm
Kaylee,
a Jewish
Corey
guy. I'm
is
married to
looking
a Catholic
down
girl.
on his 3
Our kids
beautiful
are
ladies
cashews.
right now, and he is cheering you on. He loves you. He is cheering you on. Corey was taken from us much too soon, but his destiny was to leave us all with a shining example of the selfless devotion of a true American patriot. It was love like Corey's that built our country, and it's love like Corey's that is going to make our country more majestic than ever before. I believe that my life was saved that day in Butler for a very good reason. I was saved by God to make America great again. I believe that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. From the patriots of Lexington and Concord to the heroes of Gettysburg and Normandy, from the warriors who crossed the Delaware to the trailblazers who climbed the Rockies, and from the legends who
The trailblazers
soared
from
at Kitty
Portland.
Hawk to the astronauts who touched the moon. Americans have always been the people who defied all odds, transcended all dangers, made the most extraordinary sacrifices, and did whatever it took to defend our children, our country, and our freedom. And as we have seen in this chamber tonight, that same strength, faith, love, and spirit is still alive and thriving in the hearts of the American people. Despite the best efforts of those who would try to censor us, silence us, break us, destroy us, Americans are today a proud, free, sovereign, and independent nation that will always be free, and we will fight for it till death. We will never let anything happen to our beloved country. Because we are a country of doers, dreamers, fighters, and survivors. Our ancestors crossed a vast ocean, strode into the unknown wilderness, and carved their fortunes from the rock and soil of a
and stole it from the Native Americans and built it on the backs of slavery, but we're not going to talk about that.
Our destiny across a boundless continent. They built the railroads, laid the highways, and graced the world with American marvels.
They entered the ramparts, the airports that took place in the Revolutionary War. Because remember, Donald Trump thought we had airports in the Revolutionary War.
They lit the world with electricity, broke free of the force of gravity, fired up the engines of American industry, vanquished the communists, fascists, and Marxists all over the world, and gave us countless modern wonders sculptured out of iron, glass, and steel. We stand on the shoulders of these pioneers who won and built the modern age. These workers who poured their sweat into the skylines of our cities. These warriors who shed their blood on fields of battle and gave everything they had for our rights and for our freedom. Now it is our time to take up the righteous cause of American liberty.
I'm slow or something. I think I'm in shock or something.
I mean,
I don't know how much shocks me from this president anymore. Nothing surprises me from him anymore.
In the history of our country.
If he handed over the keys of the country to Putin, I would be like, that seems about right.
With God's help, over the next 4 years, we are going to lead this nation even higher, and we are going to forge the freest, most advanced, most dynamic,
this sounds like it's hopefully coming to an end,
civilization ever to exist on the face of this earth. We are going to create the highest quality of life.
JD looks like he's fantasizing about his couch at home.
And healthiest and most vital communities anywhere in the world. We are going to conquer the vast frontiers of science, and we're going to lead humanity into space and plant the American flag on the planet Mars and even far beyond.
Now he wants a mission to Mars, but, you know, we're supposed to be saving money and not getting into debt. How much would a mission to Mars cost? Exactly, Jackie. Lies.
And through it all, we are going to rediscover the unstoppable power of the American spirit.
Exactly,
and we are going to renew unlimited promise of the American dream.
I guess only one teleprompter works. He just keeps staring at the Democrats because he doesn't like that they won't lick his ass.
For the country our citizens believe in, and for the country our people deserve.
I hope the people that voted for Trump get the country that they deserve, but I just don't want to be suffering under it as well. Work them fist, Lauren. You're going to be using them later with somebody. Bobo the frickin' clown. Make Mars great again.
My fellow Americans, get ready for an incredible future because...
And when I mean fellow, I mean the guys, because I don't like the women.
...has only just begun. It will be like nothing
the golden shower age,
been seen
like
before.
nothing has ever been seen before.
God
Take a drink.
You, and God bless America.
All right. We've had enough of Trump, and now we're going to get to see the end of people walking away, people walking out. They seem to all be walking out immediately. I guess the Republicans are going to say the Democrats are going to funnel out. Yep, that's what they're doing. The Democrats should have been much louder in their opposition. Al Green is now my new congressional hero, because Al Green did what every single one of those people should have done, which is stand up, shout him down, fight back, and make them remove you from the hall. Because, you know, they weren't going to remove the Republicans from the hall, like, you know, people who wore, like, MAGA hats and other crap like that. So, anyway, This was just about as much of a shit show as I expected. Nothing really new, except for, I guess, the Mars thing, and how he's invited Greenland to, I guess, vote to see whether or not they want to join, as if they would have a say. I mean, sure, if people who lived in Greenland want to come to America, they could just immigrate to America. But the idea that a small little group of the population of Greenland would be able to vote to have Greenland leave its country of ownership, i.e. Denmark, is absurd and silly, etc. Oh, now he's shaking the hands of Amy Crony Barrett and Kavanaugh. She just stared him down and said, "Nope, sorry, nope, not gonna be cordial to you at all whatsoever." Anyway, I'm going to take a short break when it comes to this station, this channel here on Twitch and on YouTube. However, after I check and make sure to see if my wife needs anything, I think she probably might need something with like her insulin or sugar checked or whatever. I'm going to go handle that. And then I'll probably come back up in a few minutes and I'll be live on twitch.tv/nerdydandotcom. So until that happens, thank you so much. It'll be a hard exit for the people on Twitch. Otherwise, you'll get to hear the Nimbus Evening Land outro as we're exiting. So we'll be back regular time, 8 p.m. Central, here, liberaldanradio.com and twitch.tv/liberaldanradio tomorrow. Hope to see you then. Until then, peace.